If you don't have psychological safety in your relationship, then you're welcoming failure much sooner than you think. Psychological safety is the safe feeling to take interpersonal risk, to speak up, to disagree openly without any fear of repercussions. It nurtures an environment where people feel like they can be their authentic selves 100%. They can talk about the good and they can talk about the bad. This is really about trust, responsibility, and genuine support. Feeling psychologically or intimately safe with a romantic partner is strongly associated with higher relationship satisfaction and stability, more positive affect, better mental health, and higher life satisfaction. Conversely, if your relationship is filled with insecurity and conflict, this strongly correlates with declines in safety, satisfaction, and stability. Overall, you'll just have worse mental health. So what can you do to create psychological safety in your relationship? Let's use the acronym SAFETY. We'll start with the S. S is for safety. This is about the human need to have consistency, commitment, and certainty in your relationship. The core need here is emotional and physical security. Healthy behavior here is around clear communications and setting boundaries. Unhealthy behaviors here involve fear, criticism, and threats. In one of my earliest relationships, I had horrible boundaries. We literally didn't even talk about them. There was no communication. We were just young and dumb. And the result of that is this massive mix of confusion, emotions, being lost, and, well, what are we going to do from here? How are we going to solve this problem? How do you want to live your life? How do you want to go day to day with the way that things are going? It was incredibly challenging, but we were young and dumb and things were difficult. And that was a huge lack of the safety aspect because we didn't have that clear communication. There was no discussion around boundaries. What makes me comfortable? What makes me uncomfortable? Where do I draw the line with insert topic here? There were so many things that were missing in that specific regard. So look at your relationship and see, is there a conversation you're not having? Is there a boundary you might not be setting? Some helpful insights could come from those conversations. This is how you can actually apply this. The next time your partner comes to you and tells you a story or maybe vents to you about something specific, ask what they'd like from you out of that interaction. Hey, do you want me to just listen, or do you want me to give any advice? Do you want me to help solve the problem? Purely by asking that question alone will help them see that you're trying to make an effort to meet them where they're at. That strengthening in your communication will go such a long way with your partner. Moving on, we go to A for autonomy. This is about the human need to have a sense of control over your life. The core need here is independence. Healthy behavior here is about individuality. Unhealthy behavior here involves control, jealousy, and guilt. So thinking back again to one of my other previous relationships, I was in a really tight spot because I felt like I was always trying to get controlled. She always wanted to make everything her way in a very specific way. And it was like you're always walking on eggshells. You're always feeling like you can't fully be yourself. You can't fully relax and be calm and just chill out for a second because they always have to control everything. They have to have full understanding of what's going on, why you're doing that, every little detail. It can be insanely stressful. It can be insanely frustrating. And when you're in that situation, it's hard to push back or fight in a healthy, constructive way because all you can think about is how much you're angry and pissed off at that person. So the more you can step away from that, the more you can get out of that and understand a healthier way to deal with it, it just makes things so much easier. You're not here to control your partner. You're not here to completely change their personality. You're there as two healthy individuals, ideally, who are living very healthy lives together. One way you can actually apply this information is this week, go to your partner, pick one personal activity that they love to do that historically they've usually not really done with you. This could be tennis, reading, maybe some quiet time, hanging out with that one friend, whatever it is. Tell them to go do that thing and have a blast. Do the same for yourself and let your partner know that this is important for both of you. Real love isn't about this constant togetherness every single micro moment of every single day. It's about freedom within connection. When autonomy is respected, attraction and appreciation actually deepen. Space isn't true distance, it's like this oxygen for connection. Moving on, we go to F for fairness. This is about fairness in your environment. The core need here is equity and mutuality. Healthy behavior here involves shared decision-making. Unhealthy behavior here is a power imbalance and resentment. So I actually have a friend who is in a relationship where both people are working. They do have children, and each of them make very different amounts of money. One of them makes a ton of money. One of them makes very little money. And they've come up with a specific rule on how they divvy up their finances that is really not fair according to one of the people. So one person gets to spend a ton of money and have fun and do all these great things with their money, and the other person doesn't. So this creates a ton of resentment because it doesn't seem fair. Is everything black and white? Is it 50-50? Is it 100-100? Is it 80-20? Every couple's different. Every relationship is different. And as long as you don't see eye to eye and you don't both mutually agree that the situation is actually fair for both of you, depending on whatever that is it all money? Is it all contribution? Is it a mixture of both? That's up for you to decide with your partner. And if you don't have that, resentment is going to continue to grow. It's completely poisonous for your relationship. So one helpful way to apply this is to go to your partner, list all the recurring tasks that keep your life running. This could be chores, planning, finances, etc. Ask yourselves, do we both feel this is fair? Delve into the why or why not. Agree on one thing that feels off and work on it from there. Rinse and repeat every week, every day, every month, whatever is needed. When fairness improves, resentment drops. You talk through these issues and come up with a compromise in the middle that works for both people. This will cause affection to naturally just resurface. Fairness is about people feeling seen and supported. So moving on, E is for esteem. This is about the human need to be regarded highly by yourself and others. The core need here is feeling valued. Healthy behavior here is appreciation and encouragement, while unhealthy behavior here is around criticism and belittling. So in the past, before I actually learned about conflict resolution and healthy ways to communicate and set boundaries, I would criticize in a way that was really difficult to work with. So I wouldn't focus on the situation, the behavior, the impact. I would focus on the whole person and what they were doing wrong. So it was, you're always this, you're always that. Well, you come across as blank. And it would just be really difficult because when we try to handle conflict, it was met with criticism. It's me versus you. It's not me and you versus the problem. So when you're faced with something like that, focus on the situation, the time, the place, the facts, the behavior. What was the observable action that you took or actions, and the impact? What did it make me feel? What was the result of those things? That's how you're going to have a much better conversation. So one simple way you can apply this in your life is the 3 appreciations rule. Each day for 7 days, I want you to sit down with your partner and talk to them about 3 specific things you actually appreciate about them. Big or small, doesn't matter. You can't repeat answers. Keep it in a log, put it in a book, whatever works for you guys. Be super specific. Appreciation rewires your brain to focus on what's actually working. Admiration is a fuel for love. Looking forward, to look at T in safety. It stands for trust. This is about the human need to belong and protect our in-group. The core need here is reliability and honesty. Healthy behavior here is about transparency and consistency. And unhealthy behavior here is about deception and secrecy. I've met so many people that are so blatantly keeping secrets from their partners, that are so blatantly ignoring the important conversations that need to be had, even if it's not this horrible, like, hey, they're cheating, they're doing something horrifically bad. Just silly, stupid little things. It's like, why would you lie about that? Why would you keep that a secret? Why would you kind of downplay that to what it really is? It's like they don't want to keep them up to speed on what's going on. Again, it goes back to improper communication, unhealthy and ineffective communication. It's not helpful for anybody. It's not going to get you where you need to go. And it's only going to cause more resentment. It's going to ruin your psychological safety. One super easy way to apply this is to make one small promise to your partner today. Hey, I'll text you when I get home. I'll take care of dinner tonight. Literally anything. Make a promise and keep it. That's the key. Each promise you keep strengthens the trust between you two. By doing this, you're showing your partner that they can actually relax with you. There's that sense of consistency and stability. And finally, looking at the why in safety, it stands for you. This is your personality, your biases, motivations, and perspectives. Core need here is about identity and belonging. Healthy behaviors here involve both people living healthy lives, maintaining who they are as individuals, but you also come together to do it together. Unhealthy behaviors here are about full dependency on another person or full alienation and outcasting. I'm sure you've seen the couples who completely just disappear off the face of the planet as soon as they get a partner. Their whole life just becomes that person. All day, every minute of every day, every second involves that person. Now, there's literally nothing wrong with having this deep love and admiration towards your partner. And in fact, spending time with them is critical to healthy life satisfaction, right? You need this in your relationship. But if your whole entire being revolves around that person and being that person, that you completely lose any sense of who you are, who your friends are, who your family is, your job, your hobbies, interests, everything, then it can be a big problem. And conversely too, if you're completely alienating yourself, the more you distance yourself from that partner, you're never doing anything together. You're never interacting at all. Very little texting, very little talking, very little dates. Nothing is happening at all. I mean, at that point, you're just strangers or roommates, right? It's a really, really dangerous place to be. So here's one helpful way you can apply this in your life today. Sit down with your partner and answer these 2 questions and follow through. Again, this is the key. You have to follow through. Number 1, what's something we want to experience together in the next month? Do that thing. Number 2, what's one thing I want to experience myself in the next month? Support each other in doing all of this. Do it. Talk about it. Learn from those experiences. Rinse and repeat. A strong we really does depend on 2 strong me's. Focus on your independence and all the togetherness. Don't lose sight of who you really are. So to wrap everything up, remember the acronym SAFETY. It's going to be incredibly helpful for you as you navigate your relationships. You go through conflict, you go through life things that happen. And adulting is really hard. The older you get, the longer you're around, more things happen. People get sick, people lose jobs, there's accidents, there's health issues, there's money problems. It literally doesn't end. It doesn't matter who you are or what's going on. There will be things that life loves to throw at you, and it's going to hit real hard sometimes. So the least you can do is at least be aware of safety, psychological safety. Pay attention to the acronym. Do the activities that I talked about for each one in each of the chapters. You can go back, reference that, take some notes. It really honestly will make the biggest difference. But the tricky part is for those of you who are already so far beyond that point of no return, it's like, well, what's the solution? If the person already hates my guts and we can't stand each other, do you think doing these fun, silly little activities with each other is going to massively change everything? Probably not in some cases. So this is very nuanced, as with anything else in the world of psychology and people. Every relationship is different. Every person is different. Some people are going to be in fresh relationships, and this will be amazingly helpful for them. Other people might be in, short-term relationships that were off to a rocky start, and it doesn't do anything. On the other side, people may be in a very long-term relationship, and they're super open-minded, and they're willing to put in that effort, which is required on both ends. So they both mutually work together to make it work. It's going to work wonders. Or if you're together with someone for 30 plus years, and you're trying to talk through this stuff, but there's nothing but resentment and hate and disgust and anger and all these frustrations and years of trauma and histories that were unresolved. There's a lot of different conversations that need to happen. So hopefully this was helpful for you. Apply the information, leverage the activities, look at the tables that were put together, and best of luck with your journey. If you found this video helpful, any support would be greatly appreciated. I want to give a special shout out to the biggest channel supporters: Aaron Freneck, Erica, Carolina, Nicole Mado, Sunny Sue, and Tony Martinez. I seriously can't overstate how grateful I am for you guys and all the support you provided for this community. Thank you so much. Remember to take care of yourselves, remember to take care of those around you, and for all things psychology to help you think, feel, and perform better, stay tuned right here on Psychology of Living.